Greetings, friends and family. Honey's been working on curtains. So, yes, we're progressing here on the bus. Did you hear that? I heard a clunk. It is, what's today? Tuesday, May 22nd, I believe. And a shout out to me. As of today, it's been 9 months since I've had a drink. So, yay me. I don't expect props or nothing like that from y'all, but that's a pretty big thing for this 50-year-old man. Now, more importantly, look at this temperature. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning and what is it, 94 degrees inside? We're gonna see if we can do something about that today because we have insulation on the floor. We have insulation in the walls, which is all well and good. However, where does the sun shine down? Science 101. From the sky, duh. What does the sun hit on a bus more often than not? The roof. What's that ladder for? That's right, we're gonna go up and we're gonna be putting down some paint. So stick around and I'll tell you what we're gonna be putting down with a special additive to even keep more heat out of the bus if it works. All right, so for today's task, it is all about the roof of the bus and to get a layer of paint on there. Now I've done some research and I cannot vouch for any of the products I'm going to be using today. All I know is what I've read on various schooly websites and things of that nature talking about people who have painted their bus. Ultimately, what we want to do is reflect the sun's rays, right? Instead of hitting the metal and then soaking in and then going down into our big steel tube, which is what a bus is, we want that sunlight, that the photo rays to hit that surface and bounce right off. Now, what we're going to use for that is called Henry's Tropicool white roof coating. Now, I've got this one was half off. No, I've got 2 gallons of this stuff, and people swear that by applying this, they've seen temperatures inside their bus drop by 10, 15 degrees, up to 20 degrees. I'm going to remain not skeptical, but slightly hopeful, and we'll see what happens with our temperature gauge on the inside here down the road. So, in addition to Henry's Tropicool, which is 100% silicone white roof coating for RVs, trailers, mobile homes, and more, I've also got this. Some people have used this. This is insulating ceramics. They're tiny, tiny, tiny little ceramic beads. It looks like sand or powder, but you mix this in and supposedly with the paint, this will work with any sort of paint, and this will help deflect the sun's rays, ultraviolet rays and whatnot, and help it bounce off the surface. So this will mix in with 2 gallons of paint. The problem is I don't have a large container to mix it in. I can't take this and pour it into the container because then it will overflow and cause a mess, which is dumb. So I'm just gonna have to eyeball it, pour it into this. So let's say I use a quarter of a gallon of paint. That would be 1/8 of a bag of this. Mix it up. Math is hard. No, it's not. Shut up. Okay. And we're just simply gonna roller it on. Let's go paint. Now the other day I was up here and I did some cleaning. I got some water and some TSP, which is pre-paint cleaner, and it's supposed to do a really good job. And so I'm gonna come up here, make sure everything's completely dry and for the most part clean. It's an old bus, it's filthy, whatever, paint's still gonna stick. So I'm gonna check out the existing surface and make sure it's ready for paint. Now one thing about walking on top of a school bus, you gotta pick where you want to step. See that row of fasteners? That's okay to step because it's reinforced. Down here, not so much. So, walking along here, see there's some bird poop that needs to come off. Damn birds. This is one of our emergency hatches. This bus has 2. No air conditioning units, as you may notice. And I'm just gonna walk along here, a little bit of dirt. I'm not really too concerned about that. This whole roof is gonna be covered with this paint. What a view! Look, I'm in an RV park. Or RV yard lot. I'm actually in a storage area for RVs. That's Tom's Camperland. Thanks, Tom's, for letting me hang out. And remember, comrade, when working in hot sun, it is most important to use high-quality sunscreen made in Soviet Russia. Smells like mother country. Alright, so we're just gonna mix this up a little bit. I shook it up, but needed a little bit more, so just gonna take that. Got our ceramic powder, ceramic coating here, and I'm gonna put that in with the paint. First, I'm gonna see how much paint I can hold in my paint pan. This stuff's thick. Okay, so that's about 1/5 of a can-ish, which would be about 1/10 of this bag. So yeah, in other words, it's a big crapshoot. That looks good. Smells like art class. Here we go. Just gonna mix this up a little bit. See it? It's all puffy. Weird. And then you mix up the brownie mix like so. You want to make sure you get your eggs completely folded into the batter. That's exciting stuff. It does seem to mix in pretty well. Now the problem here, it's hot in Phoenix. And I'm hoping this doesn't set up too quickly. All right, so I'm gonna finish up here, get rolling. All right, well, as far as application goes, there's no secret to it. Just roll it on. Now this does go down the sides of the bus. I'll have to go around with my ladder and get that done. And just a matter of putting it on. Hey, who wants to watch a few hours worth of this? Yeehaw! And no, it's a little bit of over paint. No, I don't care. No one's gonna see it anyway. Okay. I want to do this and I'll fill you in later. Bye. I've got a snack. Well, so far it's going pretty good. I have had a few pieces of the old paint come up. That's not really a huge deal. I'm just painting over it. But overall, you can see it's a lot wider. I'll have to come back by here with a brush. There's a good before and after shot right there. And of course the rest of the bus. One thing about working up here, it kind of reminds me of working on the top of an airplane wing. Some of you may know I'm retired Air Force, and my career field was 2A 6X4 aircraft fuel systems maintenance. And this reminds me of working on like a, I don't know, C-130 wing or something like that, about the right height. I had the pleasure of working on everything from C-5s and C-17s on down to our F-16 and everything in between. And it's got the reflecting. And so I just want to give a shout out to all my fellow 2A 6X4 fuel system maintainers out there, men and women, and God bless and thank you for doing what you do. And you know what? Let's just put it out to everybody. United States Air Force, aim high. And if you've ever served in the military in any way, shape, or form, go Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, Air Reserve, whatever, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and thank you for what you've done to help defend this country from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Every nation or every citizen in this nation thanks you, even if they think they don't, because they have their freedom because of you. So thank you very much. Public service announcement over. Back to work. All right, looking good so far. That's one pan. So at this point, we've my production crew's terrible. So at this point, got that first small amount out of the can, but now I've got room on the inside for the rest of the powder, the ceramic powder that's supposed to go into it. So I'm going to pour in a little less than half of this, and then stir it up real good, and that'll give me the rest of my batch. That looks about right. How fascinating. Not really. There we are. One thing about these beads is it really thickens up the paint. I mean, that's like soft serve ice cream almost. Who wants some vanilla?
Rollin', 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 though the streams are swollen, keep them doggies rollin'.
All right, so the first coat is on there. It hasn't dried yet, obviously. This stuff's really gooey, and it's going to take a while for it to dry. So I doubt I'll get another coat put down today up on the top, but I'll go around the outside of the bus and do the sides. Now, just for shiggles, let's look at the thermometer in here. Now, I'm no thermodynamic expert, but it looks like it's dropped about 5 degrees in here since I started and put it up. Interesting.
Rawhide!
Well, the roof is proving to be, at least the sides here, a little bit more labor intensive than the top, because of course having to move this ladder every 3 feet or so. Fill my roller, move the ladder, fill the roller, come up here and roll it, and you gotta get the sides. So for the sides, I'm using this thing here and just kind of line it up. I don't even know if you can see this, probably not, but I'm just kind of rollering it on there. I didn't tape off the sidelines, and it doesn't look 100% awesome, but whenever it comes time to paint it, I'll mask it off and do it the right way. The rest of the bus, that is. Merrily we roll along. Thusly. Ah! And it's slippery. Stupid leaf. Get off my freshly painted roof. Damn it. My ladder's unstable, so I got to put this underneath one leg every time. Safety first. Load up my roller full of goo. Man, this stuff drips all over. And away we go. Well, folks, that's a wrap for today. Let's see, a job done. Kind of sort of well done. In the looks department, I'd give it a good solid 3 out of 10. But in a case like this, it's all about function, not so much looks. Besides, this is a schoolie, not a Lexus. So it's going to be functional. And besides, the overpaint and whatnot, that'll get covered up whenever we go about making the actual paint job for the bus itself. So I'm going to go down and check the inside just for shiggles. Come with me down the stairs, down the ladder. Oh, it's so far down there. Here, hold the ladder while I go down. I will be putting down a second coat. I've got another gallon and some more of that, the powder stuff. So I'll be putting down a second coat, and it feels cooler in here. That doesn't say so. But, you know, it's just a $3 little cheapy thing anyway. But it feels cooler. It really does. It might be my imagination, whatever, but so yeah, I'll put that on another coat because I've got it, and that's what we need to do. And then we'll go about with more stuff. All right, well, it's a new day. Got my stuff up here, got my shoes off, got my hat off, getting some sun, got my tunes, got my water, got my paint, got my brush, got my bare feet on top of the bus. Second coat going down. Oh yeah. Well, friends, the roof is done. I got the second coat down there. So 2 gallons of Henry's Tropicool does pretty much the entire roof of the bus twice. And this is a 40-foot bus, full size 40-footer, 14 window. And so if you're buying, go ahead and get yourself 2 gallons. Don't get a 5-gallon bucket because you're gonna be like, wow, we got a lot left over. Let's paint the whole bus. Which I have known people to paint the whole bus in Henry's Tropicool, and to each their own. To me, it seems like overkill. If you really want to insulate your paint, get yourself some of those little powder crystal things, and that should supposedly help with insulating the paint. And that way you can choose your own color. Now, what's next? Sticking to the theme of the outside, it's time to prep for paint. Not that paint, because that looks like butt. Sanding block and some water. We're gonna sand this whole thing by hand. Yes, I have a sander, but this needs to be done by hand. And since I'm out, there's no water out here, I'm gonna use this. It's a 1-gallon garden sprayer. Yes, pressurize this, and this will provide all the spray water we need to give this thing a nice, thorough sanding. I think I'm crazy. Wouldn't it be funny if I actually fell? Dude, you get that on film? Yeah, man, it was awesome. Okay, well, no accident this time.